Today, brother.
Walty into the wind, and the first pitch of this elimination game is a strike, and we are underway. Michael Detallo, the Conference USA Newcomer of the Year. Transfer hitting in the leadoff spot. Third baseman for Dallas Baptist. 8 homers on the year as he takes outside. It's 1-1. Yesterday, the offense for Dallas Baptist managed just 4 hits. Pitch skied in the air to right, going back on it, and making the catch on the warning track is Emilio Corona, and that's out number 1.
And we talked earlier this morning with head coach Dan Heathner of Dallas Baptist, and he was a bit disappointed by the overall quality of at-bats from his offense yesterday. Felt they did not make Derek Clark work a bit more, and they really were susceptible to his off-speed stuff. So a narrative to follow here to see if Cam Walty and that scouting report holds true.
First pitch to Chayton Krause. The slugging first baseman misses high. It's a 1-0. And with that, he said that he thought they got off the fastball. And really, in talking to Clark after the game yesterday, he said that he had not used his slider as much. It was mostly fastball changeup. Listen, Walty's not going to be a guy, as you mentioned, that's overpowered. He's also not going to use his fastball a ton. So I'm kind of curious how Dallas Baptist hitters go about that. How do you prep to hit a fastball when you don't see a fastball?
Yeah, exactly. You've got to be able to have that opposite field approach. And again, I think the other part to watch here is the sequencing with Adonis Guzman. Does he want to go more cutter just to get guys off the slider, off the curveball? Anxious to see where they go early on.
Pitch misses outside. It's 2-2 to Krause. Krause, 16 home runs during the season. Aggressive hitter. He will chase a little bit. The 2-2. He swings and fouls it back.
93 on the gun right here. Again, that's probably the max. Maybe a 94 here and there, but predominantly low 90s fastball with Cam Walty. A guy that is built for this spot for what he's done for this rotation here in the regular season.
The count is full to Krause. No score, just underway, top of the first. Walty works from the third base side of the rubber to the belt and the payoff. And already we've seen some swings from the Dallas Baptist hitters that makes you think that they are working to try and time up the fastball a little bit better today.
That's what they've been gauged on. You've seen the early swings on that, and a good job and good plate discipline right here to set up an inning early.
Krause draws the walk, so he's aboard with 1 out, and here comes Tom Poole. Poole had good at-bats against the lefty Clark yesterday. He's in the 3-hole today, which is where he's hit predominantly against right-handed pitching this year. 10 homers. And he has been on a tear. His average on April 5th was just 243. It's up almost 100 points since then. Shift on for the left-handed hitter who takes a strike. It's 0-1.
And you feel that the running game is going to have to be something when Dallas Baptist gets the opportunity. Part of their DNA, being able to advance, being able to put some pressure on the opposing starting pitcher.
The 0-1. He takes a strike, and the count 0-2 to Poole. Poole, the highest on base percentage in the lineup, near 500 this season. So a very selective hitter in what is generally an aggressive lineup for DBU. The pitch. Up and in, the count 1-2.
You can kind of see early on here Cam Walty trying to establish the inside part of the play with a fastball to expand the strike zone to go to his off speed. Been ahead so far. Let's see what he does here.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He went around. They appeal to third, and Brandon Cooper says he went 2 outs.
It's a beautiful setup right there. A good little high-low with the fastball elevated inside. Now you've changed eye level. Great breaking ball under the barrel. Poole cannot hold up. Big strikeout for out number 2.
It'll bring up Miggy Santos, the second baseman. One of the all-time great offensive players in Dallas Baptist history. He is in the top 10 in just about every offensive category. And he takes the ball 1-0. Hits, homers, stolen bases. He has started every game since setting foot on campus as a sophomore in 2022.
Heart and soul of this group, right? And someone they rally around. He's going to have to be big this afternoon to keep them alive.
Here's the 1-0. He swings, skies it foul down the right field line and out of play. It's 1-1. Just underway in the top of the first. No score. Dallas Baptist and Arizona. Winner gets to stay here. Loser has to go home. Multi set. The 1-1. Called strike. Really well located fastball that time. It's 1-2.
And again, you're seeing the early theme here and why Chip Hale wanted Cam Walty in this spot. Filling up the strike zone, working ahead, forcing the issue here with this Dallas Baptist offense.
U of A fans starting to get into it this afternoon as that one misses in the dirt. It's 2-2. Had a record crowd here at High Corbett last night, the most ever for an Arizona baseball game. It'll be a little bit more sparse today, but they certainly are vocal with the home team season on the ropes. The 2-2. Swinging a drive down the right field line. Going to be a long run for Corona. He can't get it. It'll land in the corner, and it's extra bases. Krause being waved around third. Here comes the relay. It's not in time. An RBI triple for Miggy Santos, and Dallas Baptist leads 1-0.
We said yesterday they wanted some Miggy pop, and it's the Oppo variety as 2 down and a critical 2-out RBI triple to get Dallas Baptist on the board. And look where this one, he could not have placed this any better, tailing away from the right fielder, Emilio Corona. He can't get to it. Full send the whole way from third base coach Clint Pennington. DBU up 1-0.
Now here's Ethan Mann, the two-time all-conference performer, takes high. It's 1-0. Right away, Dallas Baptist offense off to a better start than they were yesterday, and now Walty really needs an out here. The 1-0. Swinging a pop-up. Shallow right center. Summerhill coming over, and coming in is Corona. The right fielder will make the catch. And the inning is over. But Dallas Baptist to make it 2 regional finals, and actually here in 2021, they were able to win the regional coming through the losers bracket. First pitch to Richie Morales, misses outside a ball. It's 1-0.
And I feel like they're 4-10 in game ones of their 14 region. This is almost where the home is for them. They almost feel better in this spot considering what their record's been.
I don't believe they're saying feel better. It's no matter how cool and calm Dan Hefner said this felt this morning or looked this morning, I guarantee he would much rather be playing tonight. And you get a look at Clark Tandiotti, who started yesterday for Arizona. That one fouled away. It's 2-1.
There are plenty of nanners out early and then trying to get the good vibes rolling as the boys on the bench. They see their offense trying to come back from an early 1-0 deficit.
The 2-1 to Morales. Third baseman takes a strike. It's 2-2. Morales has run up a high on-base percentage this season. He has been in and out of the top of the lineup, but getting the start today in third. Very good defender. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He's down on strikes, and the leadoff man going to the Arizona first.
Well, the exact sequence that Jared DeBerry has gotten the majority of his strikeouts on. Get ahead and get to that good old slider. A really big movement late. Go ahead and watch from home. This is a tough one to get to right there. As you can see, that one well out of the zone once it ended. And Richie Morales, free air conditioning already this afternoon.
Here's Brendan Summerhill, a sophomore center fielder from Chicago, takes a strike. Summerhill this season, 8 homers, but he had 32 extra base hits all told. Takes a strike to the knees. It's 0-2. His game is perfect for this giant ballpark. Hit the gaps and run. The 0-2. Takes in the dirt. The count 1-2.
DeBerry almost giving me Tristan McKenzie vibes. Long and lean and really good extension. You see that life of the fastball. 92-93, but playing up already this afternoon.
Here's the 1-2. So a liner foul on that play. It looks like if he were to stand sideways behind one of the light standards here, you would not be able to see it.
Perfect hide-and-go-seek guy. Absolutely.
I believe they call pitchers like him high-waisted. I think that's the term for it. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Summerhill down on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts for DeBerry to start the bottom of the first.
A theme from the start here. Needed fastball commanded. Has set up his off-speed beautifully. And this one, just a little cutter on the outside. 2 up, 2 down via the strikeout. He has looked on point here in the early going.
Mason White had a double and scored a run yesterday. 19 home runs on the season. The leading power bat on this Arizona lineup, and he takes a strike. Arizona actually had a 3-2 lead in yesterday's game against Grand Canyon before Eddie Pelk's 3-run double in the 6th. And that changed the complexion of the game at Grand Canyon. Even though Arizona had pulled within a run again, kept adding on late in the game. And there just was not enough firepower in the Wildcat offense last night. Swing and a miss. Yeah, that was a really good one.
He's got about 3 or 4 pitches he's shown in the arsenal so far in these first 3 hitters, and I got to tell you, if he's going this way, it's going to be tough sledding for Arizona this afternoon.
The 1-2. Swing and a bouncer foul. There is a small but hearty group of Dallas Baptist fans over the third base dugout, and because that is the visiting section, they are in bright sunlight. I don't think they brought enough umbrellas to protect them. The 1-2. Fouled away. I mean, at least it's not humid.
Hey, we had the hottest day of the year yesterday. It cooled off today, just a degree below it, so appreciate that.
I'll tell you right now, that record's not going to stand much longer for this year, so. Here's the 1-2. Outside, it's 2-2. If not anything else, they've worked some deeper counts against DeBerry here in the first.
And again, the put-away counts, though, he's been ahead of all 3 hitters. He's had the ability to go to the slider. Let's see what he does here.
Pitch ripped foul. You saw there the improvement from White from his freshman to sophomore year. He's also improved significantly on defense and has become a really steady shortstop.
What he'll be looking like next year, though. I mean, just another step in the progression. One of the bright stars of this Arizona lineup.
2-2. Swinging a liner down the left field line. That one's going to get down and roll all the way into the corner. Mason White with a 2-out, 2-strike double. The ball bobbled, and he'll hold on at second when he's in scoring position with 2 down in the first.
We talk about progression with hitters, and when you're in a 2-strike count, the ability to still drive it with authority. Watch where the pitch location is here. DeBerry trying to get him to go chase, but he leaves it out over the big part of the plate. And Mason White gets that front foot down early. Beautiful execution, great bat path through. A 2-out double, chance to tie this one up with Garrett Caulfield at the plate.
Caulfield hit second yesterday in the cleanup spot today. 2-year starter here at Arizona. And he takes a ball high, 1-0. You see Caulfield's numbers, hitting over 300 this season. Check swing, fouled away.
Already seeing some of the swings here because of how late and how much movement that DeBerry has on his slider. It's almost like they're having to cheat because of the life on the fastball, and you're seeing some in-between swings.
Here's the 1-1. Little looper into right, racing over, slowing and making the catch is Pendergast, and the inning is over. Arizona fair for the Patriots, who end up winning the Conference USA tournament.
I mean, the 27 Yankees had quite a murderer's row of lineups. I'm not sure if this is the college equivalent, but you said it. When you have your number 6-hole hitter leading you in homers and 4 or 5 guys in front of him have double digits, that's pretty good.
That's Grant Jay, who's their leading home run hitter, who just singles past the diving White. And the leadoff man aboard here in the second for Dallas Baptist. It'll bring up Nathan Humphreys, the center fielder. Humphreys, the son of a big leaguer, Mike Humphreys, who played with the Yankees in the early 90s. Excellent defender is Nathan. Dan Hefner calls him maybe the best defensive center fielder he has had at Dallas Baptist. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. All right, so I want you to notice something here, Jensen. Cam Walty, the starter for Arizona, is way over on the first base side of the rubber now here against the lefty Humphreys. Against the righty Jay, he was over on the other side. He was on the third base side. This is the Paul Skeens move, right? He did this last year at LSU. But take us through that, because that doesn't seem like it's necessarily something that's easy to do, and maybe why you would choose to make those switches if you're a pitcher.
Two things immediately come to mind. First and foremost, guys that have trouble either tunneling to get that inside corner, or they need more consistency or run with perhaps the changeup to the left-handed hitter, and maybe you accentuate a bit more of the break with the breaking ball. So again, when you think about that, it's going to feel like I'm closer to you, Mike. I'm coming in a little bit more, and it adds to the deception of the fastball, but it also creates the illusion that there's a bit more break if you're a right-handed hitter. And then for the changeup, you're seeing spin, and then you're trying to get the barrel to it, and all of a sudden it disappears, because I know it feels like just a matter of inches, but that's the game right there, and just missing the sweet spot.
I always wondered, too, about I always think that fastball command inside to hitters is really important, right? That the best guys are able to command generally to their glove side, right? So in Walty's case, trying to get it into a lefty, just like you'd have a lefty versus the righty. So there's where he's set up here on the first base side against the lefty. But can some of that be to try and create a better line to the plate to make it easier to command the ball in to a lefty?
Yeah, and it almost allows you to take your mind out of it, just center on the target. It was something I remember doing as a pitcher, where I would have my catcher put his left knee right down the heart of the plate. And so I knew at that point my target was anything in from there, and my ball naturally would go there. So as long as I set it and tunneled it that way, I was in great shape.
Breaking ball fouled away, and Humphreys putting together a long at-bat here against Walty, who can't seem to put him away quite yet.
And if anything else, too, that umpire is now going to see how quiet the catcher is. So advantage for Guzman here. With Walty already started over, you almost get a couple more inches of the plate for that umpire to look for.
The 0-2. It's a miss. Got him to chase a high fastball. Second strikeout for Walty, and first out of the second. That'll bring up Pendergrast.
All right, you Nostradamus, you're talking about inside pitches. How about this? Okay, elevated change eye level, but it was already established by having that inside part of the plate thrown to early in the AB. Well executed. Good strikeout here for Cam Walty.
Stick around. I'll get you the lottery numbers too.
Love it. This will be the last game I worked on.
Here's Pendergrast. It takes a breaking ball strike. It's 0-1.
I'd be a professional. I'd finish out the regional with you.
Is L a number that's available in the lottery or not? I'm really familiar with it.
Bingo.
He's just said. The 0-1. Swung on and hit high in the air to right center field. Over Summerhill calling for it. Makes the catch for out number 2. Jay back to first. That time Walty was more towards the middle. He wasn't as over the third base side against the righty. But interesting that he's creating different angles and different movement profiles.
And it could be early in the start, too. We'll keep track second and third time around the order to see if it continues, or at least the duration that he's in this game. But again, early on in your outing, just trying to get that confidence and that mental calmness that you feel like you're delivering the ball where you want to.
2 outs for Luke Hefner, the son of Dallas Baptist coach Dan Hefner, their shortstop. Second team All-Conference USA performer. Dallas Baptist leading 1-0 here in the second. The pitch. Misses low in the count 1-1.
I do like the sequencing, though, so far with Guzman and Walty. It really has been predicated on finding the inside half of the plate. It really allows you more real estate that second time around, where those hitters have already said, okay, he's tried to challenge me in, but now when you go away, trying to cover both sides is going to be a bit more difficult.
Guzman trying to catch Jay napping, something that Jay did yesterday. Dallas Baptist catcher throwing out 3 base runners in their loss to West Virginia. 2-1 the count to Hefner.
Yeah, I've got a feeling DBU wants to get moving. They didn't have opportunities yesterday with a lack of base runners.
He's going a delayed steal and a roller to first. Splain has it, and he'll tag the runner. Hefner going by, and the inning is over. So Walty pitches around the lead.
I'd say the ninth place preseason poll probably acted as a little billboard material for the group.
They had had such a rough year on the mound. You know, they made the tournament. They were kind of a controversial last team in. See all the success. That would be their appearance number 42 last year. They went to the Fayetteville Regional where they went 0-2. They were just 12-18 in the Pac-12. And there were two teams ahead of them in the standings that had 17-win seasons. Arizona State, their cross-state rival, and USC. And Arizona was selected ahead of them. And they really struggled on the mound and had a couple of guys transfer out, including Aiden May, who's been the Friday guy at Oregon State this year. But they rebuilt this pitching plan with the new pitching coach, Kevin Vance, as Andrew Kane down on strikes to start the second, and bringing in a transfer like Clark Candiotti, who really stabilized Saturdays for them. Well, all three of their starters, Walty today, Candiotti who pitched yesterday, and Jackson Kent, who's waiting in the wings in case they advance, were all Pac-12 selections, which is pretty incredible. You don't think of Tucson as being a place for pitchers. You think of it as a place for hitters.
No, it's going to morph into a destination for both. You mentioned Kevin Vance, and coming from Boston College, they've got under construction the pitching lab, and we said yesterday, imitation, the sincerest form of flattery. Wake Forest and Vanderbilt, kind of those preceding, or at least places that started it, and now everyone trying to get ahead of the game. It's easy to want to come here and know that you're going to have success and have a chance to play in the postseason. But if you're going to advance, we know as well as anyone, veteran starting pitching, experience throughout your staff, and an ability to use velocity, as you get a look at Kevin Vance right there.
Yeah, one of the really fine young pitching coaches. This one misses outside to Guzman. It's 2-2. You can consider Vance a transfer from Boston College. So is Guzman. Yeah. Those two were together last year. And part of the reason Guzman came here, at least to some degree, was the relationship with Vance. He has not been in the lineup as much lately. That one off the end of the bat, and that'll be an easy play for DeBerry. Underhands to first, 2 outs.
Now some weak contact now through the first couple of frames here that DeBerry has been able to induce, and sharpness to the breaking ball. We mentioned the sweeping slider off the top. It has been a primary weapon for him so far. And he's picked up a couple of quick outs, albeit this is the narrative we mentioned too to watch. High pitch counts have been something that he's run into, and that has coexisted with command. Now, so far so good, but as we move to the second part of his outing, once this lineup turns over, let's see if Arizona makes the adjustment and if they can be more patient. But right now, he's filling up the zone at a pretty good clip.
Tommy Splain is the hitter. Arizona down 1-0 in the second. The junior first baseman waits. And he fouls it away. 0-2. Splain has been earning a reputation as a guy to come up with big hits for this Arizona squad. The numbers not where he wanted them this season. But he started to swing it better down the stretch. And that's a major reason why he's in the lineup at first. Pitch upstairs, 1-2. Plus, he gives them their best defensive option at the position right now.
And remembering just yesterday's games, right? We saw miscues in the field be beneficial to both West Virginia and Grand Canyon. They capitalized, able to sustain innings and ultimately extend their leads to get them into the winner's bracket.
Chip Hale imploring us twice this week that first base is incredibly hard. Channeling his inner Ron Washington. The two used to coach together with the Athletics. The pitch fouled that.
Are you saying that Scott Hatteberg really knows how hard it is for Moneyball? Yes? No, it's an incredibly hard position to play.
It's incredibly hard. That's it. Chip even saying it to us again today. I told you yesterday, playing first base isn't easy. 2-2. On the ground is short. Hefner waits back. He will throw to first in time to get Splain. A 1-2-3 second for DeBerry. We head to the third. Take you around to all the action around this country. When does Vandy play today, by the way, Jensen?
You know, I was just going to give you a layup here and say, you know what, it's the best invention since the BB Core era, and I'm sure your good friend Chris Burke would agree.
I would say that squeeze play is the best invention of the BB Core era. So, ripped through the left side, a leadoff single for Detallo here in the Dallas Baptist third.
Much more the approach that I think head coach Dan Hefner was preaching to us on Thursday when we got here and really looked over this offense and said, okay, top of the order was a jump starter for them most of the year, and then the power here from 2 through 6. But they have this is a completely different look for their approach and the quality of their bats early on.
Here's Chayton Krause. First pitch. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. It's 0-1.
All right, so second time through, something that you brought up and we'll keep an eye on with Cam Walty moving to sides of the rubber and versus righties and versus lefties. Something to see here. He's a bit more towards the first base side.
Yeah, he was more towards the third base for Detallo, it seemed like. So it's not just righties and lefties. He's moving based on, I guess, how he feels comfortable with how his stuff plays against the hitter.
And I would be paying attention as a hitter, too. If that is the case, then it kind of gives me a read on the selection.
That one lined up the alley in left center field. It's going to get down, and it'll roll all the way to the wall. Detallo around third. He will score. Chayton Krause, an RBI double. It's 2-0 Dallas Baptist.
Well, just as I say that Cam Walty could perhaps telegraph a little bit what he wanted to do based on where he's standing on the rubber, Chayton Krause comes out and puts a fabulous swing into the gap. Take a look at this. Great job by following through and an elevated pitch that he drives to the gap. RBI double here in the third. Nobody out, and DBU in business.
Tom Poole bats. He was a strikeout victim his first time. The first pitch. Poole swings and unloads. Deep right field. Way out of here. 4-0 DBU.
You talk about no doubter. That one was destined to take a letter out of the Terry Francona hitting center. Holy cow, was that absolutely crushed. That's the DBU slug we're used to. 4-0 early here on Cam Walty and the Wildcats.
407 feet on the home run. He hit it more than 110 miles an hour. That was blasted.
That's a hang and bang right there. No doubter, he knew it. And with the early afternoon here as we'll get a visit to the mound by Kevin Bance. Elimination game scenarios start to...
was on a hanging breaking ball, but he's got to find a way to get guys off his fastball a little bit now, right? Yep. Because it seems like they've made the adjustment to that.
They certainly have. And what do? You have to try and stand guys up inside.
Breaking ball swung on, popped up into right. Corona will make the catch for out number 1. I would think a few more of those, right? Like he tried to start Poole with a breaking ball, which wasn't very good.
Felt a lot more through that, staying through the mechanics, being able to have that late bite on it and get off the big part of the barrel. But now as a pitcher, too, the psyche game can speed up on you a lot right here. Got to be effective.
Man skies that one to center. And Summerall under it for out number 2.
And to team with that, if you want to take advantage of DBU feeling good about themselves, you'd see they're going to be hyper aggressive. Now they can pin their ears back with this 4-0 lead and go to work.
It'll bring up Grant Jay, the sophomore catcher. He singled the lead off the second and was stranded. Jay got second team All-Conference USA honors this year as he rips that breaking ball foul.
So you got the last 3 at-bats here with a lead breaking ball. And we've had 3 swings in the first pitch.
So they're trying to get ahead of that one. Pitch. Missed, and the count 1-1. It's amazing that a guy in Conference USA with 21 home runs would be the second team catcher. The first team one is Walker Yannick from Sam Houston State, who will likely be a first-round pick. That one lined into left center field, a base hit for Jay. He is 2 for 2. A two-out single continues the inning for Nathan Humphreys.
That led off last inning with that single, and now a two-out variety. You can just get a sense that there was a big sigh of relief when Dallas Baptist scored in the first inning. Like, hey, this is who we are. Get out in front. Give our starting pitchers an opportunity to be able to settle in. And now the 3 spot already here in the third.
Humphreys struck out on a high fastball, his first at bat. The pitch. That one swung on, popped up, foul territory, third base side. Morales, a long run. Does he have a play? He's out of room. That one just over the railing and out of the concrete. Four nothing. Dallas Baptist, top of the third. Winner stays in the tournament. Loser's season is over. The 0-1. Down low, it's 1-1.
All right, 51 pitches now for Walty. And again, this is a different way to manage this game, knowing there's no tomorrow. And see how long they stick with their Sunday guy.
Down low, and the count 2-1. Dallas Baptist not really going out of the strike zone very much so far against him. And this is a team that will chase a little, but Walty hasn't been able to get them to do it very much. Swinging a pop-up foul out of play. It's 2-2.
What I like is when you are, as a pitcher, are behind, you're trying to gain a little bit more information to try and get the advantage back. Dallas Baptist looks about as comfortable in the box as we've seen.
Back to the middle, gloved by Caulfield. He'll take it to the bag, and the inning is over. But Dallas Baptist scores 3 times the big blow.
Talking to you earlier, you felt the quality of your at-bats yesterday was disappointing. Got to be happy about the early return so far this afternoon.
Yeah, I think they've done a really good job, and much better than yesterday. I think, we're going to give Derek Clark, tip our cap to him. I thought he pitched really well, but there were some things we could have done better, and I thought we made some good adjustments so far today.
And what you've seen from Jaron DeBerry, the sweeping slider has been good, but the fastball command, I know he's had times where the pitch count can elevate, the command can elude him, but so far so good.
Yeah, he's doing a really nice job for us, and like you said, the sliders and elite pitch, the curveball as well, but when he's able to locate the fastball, he's a different guy.
Best of luck rest of the way. Thanks for the time, Coach.
Thank you.
It's Dan Hefner, the head coach at Dallas Baptist. They have a 4-0 lead in the bottom of the third. Justin Breifogel will lead off for Arizona. 8-9-1 due for the Wildcats against DeBerry. Breifogel had a couple of injuries this season that impacted him. The biggest one, a hamstring issue. It cost him 3.5 weeks. Arizona also had an outbreak of hand, foot, and mouth disease.
Unreal, right? Ugh.
They dealt with it in the fall and then had it again in the middle of their year, and it impacted a half a dozen players.
Not ideal when you're in close quarters as much as you are on a day-to-day basis.
1-2, tap foul. It's like you live in the dorms, right? Like,
right.
You live in group housing. That's what happens, right? I think we've all been there. I mean, not me personally. Swing the miss. Breifogel down on strikes. That's now 5 in a row, set down by DeBerry.
Not a featured out pitch for Jaron DeBerry, but again, hides the ball pretty well. And I mentioned the extension out front. You see where he releases this. He's real quiet, and then bang, just a nice snap dragon out front. You're seeing that as this is going to come right in your living room. That is huge break. 2 plane down angle, and for lefties, it's been a nightmare in Arizona's lineup.
Emilio Corona bats. He swings and misses a breaking play. That was a lane changer right there. Inside part of the plate and then just slammed across home. Another breaking ball fouled away. It's 0-2.
So if you're Arizona here, and again, just the way that DeBerry has commanded and been able to speed up and slow down, that in and of itself is frustrating, but in an elimination game scenario, starting to grip a little bit.
Check swing by Corona. He takes low. It's 1-2. Corona back in the lineup yesterday after missing 2 weeks worth of starts because of a hand injury. He had been out of the lineup since May 16th. Available just to pinch a run. Before that, he's down on strikes, 2 outs. 5 strikeouts already the first time through the order for DeBerry.
This is now gone up a level. That's the best slider he's thrown all day. And look at the amount of movement. Are you kidding me? This thing starts in the middle of the plate and ends up almost in the left-hander's batter's box. I mean, no way you're making any contact with that sensational delivery from DeBerry.
2 outs for Richie Morales, who takes high. He struck out to lead off the game. Arizona with just 1 hit, a 2-out double in the first from Mason White. They trail 4-0. Breaking ball strike. That went in through the front door. It's 1-1. Boy, he really does have feel for those breaking pitches.
These are one of those starts where you warm up in the pen, and usually it's a bad sign when you're on point. You're like, let me just uncork one over the fence just to make sure we're okay. But it's almost like he's throwing it with his eyes closed. That's how good a feel he's got so far this afternoon.
It's not an overpowering fastball, but the breaking ball is just nasty. I mean, again, it's rare when you can see on your monitor on TV it really changed shape like that. That one way outside. That one started much earlier. But, man, that ball is 3/4 of the way to home plate before it starts moving.
And you're ahead in the count for the majority of your ABs. This one, he's finally in a full count. But pretty much been able to play with anything that's been called. And we said it with Derek Clark yesterday, almost like a carbon copy of what we saw with West Virginia's success. Derek Clark pitching way ahead all the time. DeBerry doing the same today.
That one missed, ball 4. First walking shoot by DeBerry as the fastball missed the outside corner. And just the second base runner for Arizona so far, and here's Summer. He was a strikeout victim in the first. We talked about these guys gripping the bats a little tighter in an elimination game, But you have to be thinking, gosh, if we could just get Summerhill on for White in the on-deck circle. He has swung the bat well the last 2 days. Summerhill fouls it away. It's 0-1.
And it's not one of those scenarios where you take a strike or something to drive up a pitch count. I mean, he's been pouring it in there, so you're only doing a disservice to fall behind. You see a little mix of action early right here. Summerhill swinging at the first pitch. They're just trying to stay away from the slider at all costs.
Chicago Kid rips it to first, right to Krause, who takes it to the bag himself, and the inning is over. Arizona leaves it.
Bounce back here. DBU has taken advantage so far this afternoon.
They're up 4-0, and Pendergrass takes a ball high, 1-0. Pendergrass flied to center in the second. He had been a red-hot hitter. He was the Conference USA Tournament Most Outstanding Player. As he takes low, it's 2-0. He helped to spark one of the rare rallies that Dallas Baptist tried to put together yesterday with an opposite field base hit. He lines that one into left center field. That's a single. As he'll take the turn at first. And the leadoff man aboard again here for Dallas Baptist in the fourth.
Not hit particularly hard, but again, enough of the plate for Pendergast to put a decent swing on it. And you mentioned it before, especially last inning, it felt like a collective sigh of relief from that whole entire DBU dugout, and the offense has followed in kind. A lot more comfortable at bats, and if you're Cam Walty, you've got to find a way to change up some timing here.
Luke Hefner bats. He squares to bunt, and he bunts foul. He says he was hit by a pitch. They appeal, and it said he went. So Hefner will have to put his gear back on. Hefner thought he was hit. I thought it was a foul ball, but either way, it's going to be a strike.
See where it goes. Does it end up coming in? No, he does hit it, yeah.
He may have hit his bat and then hit his leg. Either way, he offered at it. It's 0-1. And that could be 2. Slowly hit. They'll get the out at second. And a big throw for White to the
As a starting pitcher, I mean, and that can be a catapult moment for you. Again, leadoff single, you made a decent pitch, jam job, but right here, perfectly done. Great job by the middle infielders taking this one. Strong throw to finish it off. Boy, Mason White, little howitzer there from short.
As slowly as that was hit, that was really incredible. They got Hefner by that much. 2 outs for Detallo, who takes a strike. He singled to start the third and sparked a 3-run rally for Dallas Baptist. They lead 4-0 in the fourth. The 0-1. Popped up. Shallow right, out the second baseman Caulfield, in Corona, calling for it, has it, and
already 4 via the slider. He's back to work here in the bottom of the fourth.
Would you go so far as to say that Poole made a splash today? Rips it foul.
Now, ironically, because Terry Francona loved to get an early swim in when he came to the ballpark, I'm not sure that he factored in the budget to put the rooftop pool there for the swimming of the laps.
The Terry Francona hitting facility in right field. There's a strike to 2. Francona was here last night. A 2-time World Series champion manager and Golden Spikes winner in 1980 for U of A.
We can ask. We can ask if it's an addition. You know, it's a great start, Tito, with the hitting center. Can we get a pool?
I mean, there is a ballpark in Arizona that has a pool that you can hit home runs into.
Unless you're a Dodger player, and then they don't like that there, right?
Well, I mean, you don't like people coming over to your house and swimming in your pool.
Not at all.
At your mansion. So
that's why we make the fences really high. Don't climb my wall.
Right to first. Krause has it. He'll underhand there. Krause yesterday got charged with an error. Remember that play?
Oh, my.
Santos?
Yeah.
He was charged with an error, and it seemed to be an errant throw from the second baseman. That was Krause's first error in more than 400 chances. He has been dynamite defensively. First, we were talking about first base defense earlier with Arizona, but he has really played he's a big man who plays a good first for Dallas Baptist.
I'll bring it up again that, assistant coach Cliff Pennington, many years in the big leagues, former teammate of mine in the Cape Cod League, a middle infielder that took so much pride in his work, and you can see it is translated with the buy-in of the infield here at Dallas Baptist, one of the best fielding defenses in college baseball. Uncharacteristic to see a couple of miscues from them yesterday.
There's a liner up the alley on left center field, a base hit. Aaron Caulfield, a single. Arizona has a man aboard with their second hit of the day. And now here's Andrew Kane.
Well, you're feeling at this point that some sort of scoring, even just a single run, might get a breath of fresh air in that Wildcat dugout. They really have had nothing to write home about offensively, even throughout the game yesterday. If Tyler Wilson doesn't make the catch in the second inning, perhaps they go on to a real big crooked number.
That was back as they were kind of chipping away and had taken a 3-2 lead, and Wilson made a great leaping catch at the fence that, in retrospect, absolutely saved the game for Grand Canyon. Pitch to Kane. He swings and hooks one foul down the line. Now Kane, the freshman, has real power. Just over 100 plate appearances this year, with 13 extra base hits in that time. 5 of them home runs. He's the first baseman of the future here at Arizona. He's DHing today. The 1-1. He swings and fouls out of play. 1-2. Ironwood Ridge High School, where he is still the school's all-time leading scorer in basketball. He also grew up playing Little League with Mason White. So a couple of Tucson area kids staying at home. 1-2 the count to Kane. The pitch. It's 2-2.
Something to keep in mind here, too, as we get into these middle frames, second and third time around the order for both clubs. When Dallas Baptist gets a lead, It has been nearly insurmountable. 34-2 when they score first. And right now, 4-0 probably feels like a huge mountain to climb for Arizona.
Popped up. It's the pitcher who'll make the play. 2 outs. For once, there was no one there to call the pitcher off.
He didn't need anybody.
Pitchers never do they?
No. There's a reason why we're the closest fielder to the plate.
The rules of baseball?
No, we're the best athletes. By the time we're done with this, you're going to be on board.
2 outs for Guzman. 4-0 Dallas Baptist in the bottom of the 4th.
Right by that one.
Outside.
Gonna leave that one alone. Okay.
I do think there are some very athletic pitchers.
Yeah. Two-way guys, Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, that guy might be okay. Here's the set, the 1-0. Outside, it's 2-0 to Guzman.
All right, you can see a little bit of an adjustment from this Arizona lineup, and particularly the righties have laid a bit more off of the slider early in counts. We'll see if the command continues from DeBerry or if he starts to fall off a little bit.
Pitch outside, and the count 3-0.
Starting to creep up. 70th pitch coming here. Been pretty efficient so far. But if history kind of repeats itself, that's been the knock against him. A lot of pitches in a short amount of time.
They're really starting to make him work here. This next pitch will be his 70th of the game. 2 outs into the 4th. Pitch. Called strike. 3-1. Guzman just 1 home run on the season. Not much power, but a very good idea of the strike zone. More walks than strikeouts over the course of the year. The 3-1. Takes strike 2 on the outside corner. He did not care for that. The count is full.
Why don't you be the judge at home? And we've got as good a vantage point right here as you see Chip Hale looking on.
There's a wide zone. Swinging a foul on a play.
That's a fair complaint from the Arizona faithful.
Stephen McMullen, our home plate umpire today. A veteran ump. Runner will be on the move with 2 outs and a 3-2 pitch coming to Guzman. Here it is. Outside, ball 4. No harm, no foul as Guzman reaches. Second walk for DeBerry. And now here's Tommy Splain. We mentioned earlier he's had a lot of big hits for this club, including in the Pac-12 tournament as Kate Johnson, the pitching coach, is going to come out to the mound to visit with DeBerry. Good Splain. A .235 average this year, 5 home runs. He had really tried to use his size to tap into more power and got out of whack mechanically for a good chunk of the year. Big spot to try and get Arizona on the board as he takes a strike, 0-1. Well, there's nothing you can do with that pitch if you're ahead.
He's kind of backed up, too. Backed up a little bit, but hey, that's one you can't do much damage with, so hey, move on.
0-1 the count. Arizona threatening down 4-0. The pitch. Swinging a liner to center, and right there is Humphreys to make the catch, and the inning is over. Arizona threatens, but they don't score. We'll talk to their...
We're battling. We're battling. If we can keep it here, we can get an inning where we get some guys on and pop one.
Yeah, Chip, it's Jensen. When you look at Cam's outing so far, of course, the 2-run homer just on a mistake out over the big part of the plate. How's he need to come back here to try and stay with a little bit longer leash in this game?
Yeah, I think obviously last inning was big for him to get through it with a 0. He just has to keep doing that. We're going to have to, obviously the leash is not long. This is an elimination game, so we have to go with the best guys we have. And we've always said our starters have been so good for us, but he has not been as sharp as he's been in the past. But maybe he can get into a little rhythm here and give us a couple more.
Chip, we appreciate the time. Good luck today.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Chip Hale, the head coach at the University of Arizona, with them down 4-0. It's his third year here. They've been in the tournament each year under his watch. They reached a regional final in 22 where they lost to eventual national champion Ole Miss. And that one lined into left field. Chayton Krause has been on base all 3 times today as he leads off the 5th with a single.
Walking the first, RBI double in the third to get it to 2-0. And now, as you mentioned, getting on in the 5th. And you kind of hear the frustration from Chip Hale. And this offense being derailed the way that it has yesterday and so far, almost halfway through this game. And I think also, you know, as coaches, you look at your guys, you look at their track record. I thought when we talked to him, he felt Clark Candiotti was in a prime position to really be solid. And you know, Eddie Pelk with one pitch turned a good outing into a subpar one. Now, the pitch that Cam Walty threw to Tom Poole that ended up over the fence, you know, really outside of that, it hasn't been so bad. But boy, 2 pitches have spelled disaster for Arizona the last 2 days.
The 1-0 misses. It's 2-0 to Poole. And hit that 2-run home run you were talking about to make it 4-0. I think part of that is because they just have not had anything going consistently offensively. And it's one way to get away with one bad pitch if you're scoring runs. Poole squares to bunt and takes low. It's 3-0.
You think there'd be some stirring now in the Arizona bullpen, and maybe in earnest here is you cannot afford to fall behind any further. If you had maybe the offense moving a little bit, that's one thing, but nothing to show thus far this afternoon.
3-0 the count. The pitch. There's a strike. 3-1. Walty set the pitch. So we got a pop-up foul on the play.
I saw the numbers right there of the maturation, if you will, from sophomore to junior year for Tom Poole just in the average category alone. And boy, right here, I mean, that's just center cut filet. That's all you're looking for as a hitter in an RBI situation deep into the early afternoon to make it 4-0 DBU.
Crushes this one to deep left field. Back to the fence. It's gone. Tom Poole's second homer of the game. 6-0 DBU.
Oh, that one was just big man pop. I mean, this guy from one side of the ballpark to the other, and you go to the deepest park on an oppo pop. Look at this. Look at how far this ball travels. I mean, that is a monster homer, and right now, that is going to do it for Cam Walty.
Chip Hale is out of the dugout and taking out his senior starter, Walty, who gives up 6 runs, including a pair of home runs to Tom Poole in 4+ innings. Dallas Baptist has opened up a 6-0 lead here in the top of the 5th of this elimination game. First pitch. There's a strike. It's a 0-1.
Feels like shock and awe right now if you look in the Arizona dugout and just the downtrodden nature of this group and the way that Tom Poole has single-handedly put the offense on his back. 2 huge 2-run homers.
Santos in the air to left. And easy play there. For one out.
Just night and day what Dallas Baptist, and this is what they're built on, right? Being able to hit the ball out of the ballpark. They've taken advantage of a couple of mistakes from Cam Walty. And now the Arizona bullpen going to be tasked. But you can't go any farther. This has to stay here. The way that your offense has struggled, going to have to be yeoman's work from the Arizona Relief Corps.
First pitch fouled away by Ethan Mann. The 2 home runs to Poole, the first time that Walty has allowed multiple home runs in his game this season. He made 13 starts, 15 appearances overall. He didn't allow a single home run to a right-hander, or hasn't as of yet. But Poole gets him twice today. Rather than 2. And it is, as much as you talked about that look inside the Arizona dugout, and we saw that, but his fan base has been stunned the last 2 days.
just not what they expected, especially with the momentum coming in off the Pac-12 tournament and just even the second half of their season.
Swing and a miss. Man down on strikes, 2 outs. So some disappointed U of A fans. There's still a ways to go, but they're going to have to start getting some offense going. They're beginning to run out of outs. 2 outs for Grant Jay. He's singled twice. First pitch. Swing and miss.
Kyle Haney coming in and throwing some good off speed and really pounding the strike zone. You know, finding a way here to just get some quick innings. That's ultimately what Arizona needs to put DBU back out.
Swing and a miss. 0-2. And he delivers. Swing and a miss. Foul tip into the glove of Guzman, and the inning is over. Haney retires all for Dallas Baptist so far. They lead the hosts 6-0. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, little team meeting between innings for Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta know, like, hey boys, season's on the line. Let's not try and get it all back in one fell swoop. Let's get back to who we are. Let's get some guys moving here. And on the flip side here, if you're Jaron DeBerry, don't change anything up. Continue to pound the zone and use that good breaking ball.
First pitch to Easton Breifogel, swung on and missed. It's 0-1. Breifogel, Corona, and Morales here. Last inning, couple of base runners on for Arizona, but all with 2 outs. They have not had a sustained rally as of yet. Really, their only rally in the first 2 games came in the second inning yesterday against Grand Canyon, and it was aided by some defensive miscues.
Well, you know, the way DeBerry's throwing the slider, I mean, this is as wipeout a slider we've seen. And really, Ryan Johnson, yesterday's starter, was supposed to have the elite one. This one, if you put that on Ryan Johnson's arm, that's been what has been the frontline starting pitching for DBU this year.
Ryan Johnson, their starter yesterday, gave him 4 runs, not quite as sharp as he normally is. Johnson actually beat Arizona earlier this year. These 2 teams met in the Frisco Classic. And that was Johnson against Jackson Kent. Dallas Baptist got 2 runs in the 8th to win that game 4-3. But Johnson fed 14. And that was a good start for Arizona. A wrong-way single for Breifogel leads off the 5th.
Something to build off, okay? Baby steps. And that's good for the bottom of your lineup. 8-9-1, just trying to find a way to upset the rhythm of Jaron DeBerry. This is actually a decent pitch. And a good swing right here is Ditalo. Almost comes up with this with the jumping grab. Just out of the outstretched reach. Leadoff man on for Arizona here at the bottom of the 5th.
Well, for the first time through the order, DeBerry fanned 5 hitters. He has not fanned anyone here. So I think that speaks to what you've been talking about in the adjustments Arizona's hitters are making. There's a breaking ball strike on the inside corner, 0-1.
You can't even see the take from Corona right there. Like, not even going to offer at the first pitch breaking ball. We'll go to work with something else. Front door breaker, can't really do anything with it.
The 0-1 fouled away. It's 0-2. It was interesting listening to Chip Hale talk about how the right-handed hitters against DeBerry almost need to be looking for the pitch that starts behind them. Now, that was the case on that first pitch for Corona. So you want to open up and turn and burn on that? I mean, he's stolen a strike coming in the front door like that a few times. The 0-2 outside.
It's kind of to each hitter. You know, what are you comfortable with? Is that something with that amount of break? Because you've seen it now, at least the first time through the order. But if it is first pitch, that's almost a pre-planned thing. If you get it, that has to be what you're looking for from pitch number 1.
The 1-2. Upstairs, it's 2-2 to Corona. And now you're starting to get a little bit of action in the Dallas Baptist pen.
85 pitches here, and see River Ridings, who also appeared in Game 1, lost to West Virginia.
Pitch Corona fouls it away, spoiling a good one there. So tough at bats for Arizona here the second time through against DeBerry.
I like the fight, though. I like the fight from Arizona. Kind of came together, said, let's go, boys. Let's try and find a rallying point. Corona is solid at bat thus far.
A long hold in the 2-2. Swing and miss. Corona down on strikes. Strikeout number 6 for DeBerry in the first out of the 5th.
Just the depth of that pitch today has really been the undoing, whether it's right-handed or left-handed. Pretty dominant stuff in the late break here. And you see it, and then all of a sudden it just disappears. And again, it caught a big part of the plate. But nothing you can do when the last 15 feet, the bottom just falls out.
I wonder if this might be the last hitter for Morales, with the side-arming lefty getting loose and 2 left-handed hitters due up. And this could be it for DeBerry. Morales could be his last hitter. I think that's what I was trying to say before.
I followed you.
You got to slow the game down in this position. Sped up on me. Got to step off. Take a breather. Use a disengagement. Outside, it's 2-0.
Well, your point is well warranted, and you're seeing Riding starting to heat up furiously here. But boy, if you're Jaron DeBerry, you want to finish this one off, qualify for a win. And he has earned it. It's been a solid afternoon for him so far.
He's got a 6-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch. That one misses in the count, 3-0. Morales drew a walk in the 3rd. And if you're Dan Hefner, the last thing you want to do is watch this start to roll downhill. And that's what Arizona's offense is trying to do, get the ball rolling. Pitch. Morales takes high, ball 4. 3rd walk issued by DeBerry. And the left-handed hitting Summerhill due. Number 4, Brendan Summerhill. 91 pitches for the right-hander DeBerry. See Dan Hefner calling down. Actually, maybe calling in the sign from the dugout. And so DeBerry's going to face the left-handed hitting Summerhill, who's 0 for 2.
A lot of faith.
First pitch. Swinging a roller to the right side. Krause has it. His only play will be to first, and they get it there in time. Summerhill retired. The runners move into scoring position.
And you saw Krause. He was thinking possibly 2. Thought better of it, though. That's the smart play. You're up 6. You got to collect outs here, especially knowing you're 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning.
And Mason White will hit. He is the best hitter in this lineup for Arizona. An opposite field double in the 1st. He is grounded out as well. Arizona hitless with men on base. 0 for 6 so far today. White trying to get him on the board. 2 in scoring position, down 6-0. First pitch. Swinging a roller, just foul past first.
And now at this point, this is probably the game for Jaron DeBerry. 93 pitches, 3-hole hitter. 6-0 lead. And Arizona hoping that their first team All Pac-12 selection can be their star and be their igniter here to get them back in this one.
3rd generation ball player at Arizona. White waits. The pitch. Swinging a drive deep and foul out of play. It's 0-2.
All right, so you're way ahead. What did we learn yesterday? You've got to be down 0-2, 1-2, especially to White, who can lift it. If you're going to get beat, it has to be the other way. So that slider better be down and in a place where no damage can be done.
Both his extra base hits in this tournament have been to the opposite field. The 0-2. He takes outside, 1-2.
Changeup. Interesting thought right there to try and possibly get him to extend. But now it opens up 2 options here. If he wants to try and sneak a heater up and in, he can do it. He can go back to the slider either side.
The Runners get their lead from 2nd and 3rd. The set. The pitch. Upstairs, it's 2-2.
Pretty good patience, pretty good discipline here. All right, so they've essentially done a reverse tilt on Mason White. Change up away. Now you try to do the cutter up and in. So we've changed eye level. Two ways you can go here. You can stay with location and stay in, or you can go back to the slider here.
He guesses it goes back to the slider. The 2-2. Swinging a foul. Third base side, and that one out of play.
Might have been his worst one of the day, just considering that he's had a ton more depth on some of his crisp strikeout sliders. And fatigue could be setting in. Triple-digit temperatures here. He has worked some lengthy innings here the last couple of frames. Could be at the end of the line.
Sixth pitch of the at-bat for White. Arizona desperately needs a hit, down 6-0 in the fifth. This is an elimination game. The pitch outside, and the count is full. And the first life this Arizona offense has shown has brought to life this crowd here in Tucson.
An anxious energy, right? And just hoping something positive can happen. They need their first hit in a couple of those categories right now.
The 3-2. Swinging a high pop-up. Right center field. Coming in is Humphreys. He's got it. Inning over. And a fired-up Jaron DeBerry walks back into the dugout. Jaron DeBerry, 5 shutout innings as Nathan Humphreys leads off for DBU. 8-9-1 for them against the Arizona bullpen. 0-1 is a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-2.
Yeah, Kyler Haney, a sensational job coming in the 5th inning to retire all 3 that he faced. A couple by the strikeout. Good breaking ball, good life on the fastball thus far.
The pitch upstairs. 1-2. This is one of 2 regionals that had the 3 and the 4 seed win their games. Virginia Commonwealth and Evansville will meet tonight in the 1-0 game in the Greenville Regional.
Oh, what an afternoon matchup that was. We had a chance to watch earlier, huh?
Wake Forest rallied for 5 in the 9th to take the lead on #1 East Carolina, only to have the Pirates walk them off. And that was a game that was anticipated as the 1-0 game, that those two would square off with Chase Burns against Trey Yesavage. Burns, the star at Wake Forest, who led the nation in strikeouts. Yesavage, the likely first-rounder, coming off a partially collapsed lung.
Unbelievable.
And Yesavage went 7 strong innings of that. And East Carolina survived, and Wake Forest, who was in the Final Four a year ago, eliminated, goes 0-2 in regionals. The 1-2. Upstairs, it's 2-2.
And a lot of people forecasting that one. Should Wake Forest have made it the Chase Burns versus his old school if Tennessee were to handle business as the overall #1 seed in the Knoxville Regional? That will not come to pass.
2-2 popped up. Left side. It's Morales. The third baseman makes the catch. 1 out. Going to bring up Pendergrass. He's singled to lead off the 4th.
Well, if Jaron DeBerry's day is done, he has given Coach Dan Hefner and this DBU team everything they could have asked for, really holding down an Arizona Wildcat offense that continues to search for opportunities to finally get through. And it's got to be frustrating at this point, considering you're at home. You had the momentum coming in, and nothing has gone right. They have not even caught some breaks offensively, which you think would just happen the way they've been playing, but it just has not been there for them.
Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1.
That young man feeling good in the cold towel. He left it all out there in a critical juncture there in the 5th.
Grounder to second. Caulfield has it. Throw out Pendergrass, 2 outs. 6-0 Dallas Baptist. Here's Luke Hefner into a double play, his last trip.
Shortstop, number 12, Luke Hefner.
Hefner, second team all-conference selection this year. Left-handed hitting shortstop. One of the Hefner boys, the oldest son of his head coach. Dan's done such a terrific job since taking over that Dallas Baptist program in 2008.
I thought you made a great analogy before the regional started that when you look at Dallas Baptist in the college baseball landscape, what would they be similar to in other sports? And you mentioned Gonzaga as just being a perennial power. No, they don't play in a Power 5 conference, but tradition of winning, tradition of excellence, and being a preeminent team in the sport. And here they are yet again, a 14th regional and a chance to kind of follow a route that has made them successful in the past, albeit, as you mentioned, too, not ideal being in the elimination game in Game 2, but here they are.
10 straight regionals, 12 of the last 13, 14 overall. The first of those was as an independent in 2008. That hadn't happened since 92, that an independent had made it to the NCAA baseball tournament. So, and this is through getting into the Missouri Valley Conference and now Conference USA. It doesn't matter what conference Dallas Baptist plays in. Dan Hefner, since he took over, has turned this program into an outstanding team. And you see that 10 in a row. Ripped foul, pass first.
And you think about the teams now that have those double-digit consecutive postseason appearances, you're now getting into that conversation and that territory of the perennial powers in college baseball.
2-2. Roller to the right side. Caulfield has it. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Haney here in the center stage in the tournament. And so far, Jaron DeBerry's been very good, and he's back out there for the 6th.
The plan could be now just to go hitter to hitter, see how the inning transpires, and try and squeeze out as many extra outs to save some bullpen arms.
It's a great point, Jensen, because part of the challenge of coming through the losers bracket in a regional means that you have to win 4 games in basically 2.5 days.
Yep.
It's 1 today, 2 tomorrow, and then 1 on Monday if you're going to come through the winners or through the losers bracket. So it is imperative to save as many pitches as you can. You just also worry about overcooking your starter, and not just because it's hot here, but because too many pitches and too many looks from the opposing offense. But so far, DeBerry's been in control as he gets Caulfield to pop out to start the 6th.
You got a righty, Carl Hinge, warming in the bullpen. You talk about some high-octane heat to try and solidify a win here. But yeah, as many outs as Jaron DeBerry, because he's done for the regional, you would anticipate if he gets into the 110s and maybe even to 120.
Swing and a miss by Kane. It's 0-1.
Other thought of this too, that Arizona dugout would love to see someone other than Jaron DeBerry, just for the mere fact of, okay, maybe we'll have some better success against somebody else.
Slow roller to first, and it'll roll foul.
All right, boy, let's go AC fight.
Nothing at 2. I think that's the other part, right, is that anybody who isn't spinning it like DeBerry is probably a little bit more conventional matchup for the Arizona hitters at this point.
He's been special. He has really been effective. Byproduct of the heat, too. You're going to stay loose a bit longer, albeit what is the physical toll from having to get up and down in triple-digit heat. He's handled everything so far.
1-2 popped up. Racing over is the shortstop Hefner to make the catch. That's out number 2. Alone on that side of the infield. The shortstop had a long way to go to make that play.
Yeah, he covered a ton of ground with the shift on. And still, 107 pitches in, a chance to finish off 6 scoreless innings. Take a look at how far that Ditalo has to come on. I mean, he's basically at the shortstop position, or as Hefner, I should say. And Hefner, gosh, get him a drink of water ASAP.
These kids, they can run in the heat.
You said it earlier today. Like, you remember when we were young? It didn't matter what temperature it was.
Now, it absolutely does.
Now you got electrolytes. You got all these special drinks.
I mean, I think I am most jealous of young people for being able to play out in the summer sun all day. Of anything that I would be jealous of.
we're looking for shade after being out for 5 minutes. All right, we've had enough. That's it.
Can't believe you last 5 minutes in the sun. Lucky you. Maybe I just need to be your age. The pitch. Here's the strike. It's 2-2.
Well, I tell you what, this is starting to get to a point now where DeBerry is going to earn himself an opportunity to come back out for the 7th.
Pitch in the dirt, and the count is full. This next pitch will be the 113th of his outing. 2 outs, nobody on, last of the 6th. Dallas Baptist leading Arizona 6-0. DeBerry rocks and delivers. This down low, ball 4. That's the 4th walk he's issued. And you wonder just how much longer. I know you talked about him coming back for the 7th, but that pitch count is starting to get to an area that I think has to make Dan Hefner and Cade Johnson a little uncomfortable.
And what you don't want is momentum from the Arizona side. You want to keep this a 6-0 advantage. Nothing for them to hang their hat on, but also want to protect your right-hander.
Tommy Splain bats 0 for 2. First pitch takes a strike, 0-1. Arizona needs somebody to run into one, anything to give them good feelings. 4 walks, 3 hits in this game, and they have yet to dent the plate, down 6-0 in the 6th, and their season on the line today. Pitch. That one missed inside, and the count 1-1.
Yeah, Connor Benj now getting ready in a hurry. You would believe that this is probably DeBerry's last hitter the way it's going in the DBU bullpen. But if indeed this is it, regardless of what happens, spectacular outing for the young right-hander.
The 1-1. Shake swing, takes a strike on the outside corner. It's 1-2.
Well, from pitch number 1, it's been the slider. The sweeping slider has been his biggest weapon. It has been effective. Let's see if he bookends it here to finish off his day.
A hearty group of Dallas Baptist fans trying to encourage him to finish the inning. The pitch outside. It's 2-2. Splain digs back in. Trying to keep this inning and rally going for Arizona. The pitch fouled away.
And it's hard to do what Jaron DeBerry's done, especially in the heat of the day, but still seeing good depth, even though he's yanked a few here, and you could completely understand physically that he's at the end of the line, still trying to get this across the finish line.
2-2. Fouled away again. Splain really working. And his next pitch will be number 120 on this hot day. This is the most pitches that DeBerry has ever thrown in an outing. 109 was his previous high. And still Arizona batting here in the 6th. The pitch. Swinging a fly ball deep to center field. Humphreys has room, shy of the track, makes the catch. 6 shutout innings for Jaron DeBerry.
From the youngster, 6 innings, career high in pitches, but no runs across. And Dallas Baptist poised. As you look at Poole.
Poole, you'll be shocked to know that he grew up playing hockey in Canada, because every youngster is born with a pair of skates, I believe, in their bassinet. But he also was a speed skater growing up.
Really?
Yeah. I think that sounds really cool, especially the short track ones, right? Which is basically like, if you've never seen short track speed skating, it's a little bit like demolition derby on ice.
I could see you and Apollo Anton Ono being buddies.
Well, I do look really good in like it. 1-2 the count to Ditalo.
We need some B-roll of you in skates.
Nope. There isn't any. The 1-2 in the air to center. Summerall coming in a couple of steps, makes the catch. That's out number 1.
Well, Kyler Haney, a really good job to stem the tide here for Arizona. First one out of the pen. Now Tony Pluta going to be tasked, and you would believe that Chip Hale empties the pen here with his A guys to try and keep it a 6-0 deficit. It's still crazy to go through this box score yesterday and today and see just the lackluster offensive performance from the Wildcats.
First pitch to Krause, who's been on base 3 times today, misses upstairs, 1-0. 6-0 Dallas Baptist in the 7th. The pitch. Krause in the air to left. That one pretty well struck. Going back and now circling shy of the track. Making the catch is Breyfogle for out number 2. Carried a little bit in the desert air here. And now here is Tom Poole. 2 home runs, 4 knocked in. Talked about his batting average raising now more than 100 points since the beginning of April. Moving into the 3-hole today against the righty. A terrific day for the powerful designated hitter. The first pitch. There's a strike out of the zone. It's 0-1.
What a difference a day makes, right? Derek Clark yesterday kind of bobbing and weaving in some scenarios, and you know, it was Miggy Santos who was hitting third yesterday. Well, the flip-flop has worked to perfection for Dan Hefner, and 2 big bombs later.
And Poole hits that in the air to center field. Summerhill going back. He's got room, though, and shy of the track makes the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning for Pluta. In fact, 9 in a row set down by the Arizona bullpen, but they trail 6-0 as we stretch.
Tough regional for me to visit there. Thanks a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up the Clemson one. I don't know why that was so difficult. Breyfogle fouls the first pitch up. And here's Connor Bench, whose name has been on the lips of everybody, coach, staff, broadcasters with DBU. The transfer from LSU Eunice has been throwing really well and throws very hard.
Very hard, and honestly, when you look at just the peripherals, yeah, it's the whole effectively wild thing. 22 walks in 31 innings. He has 34 strikeouts, but yeah, at this point, a sizable lead that you feel DBU can try and get across the line, but what you don't want is to jumpstart an Arizona offense that is literally looking for anything to try and wrap their hands around to get going.
The 2-1 to Breyfogle. Wrapped on the ground to second. Santos will throw him out. 1 gone. Arizona with just 8 outs to play with in their season as they trail 6-0 in the bottom of the 7th. This will bring up Emilio Corona. Corona struck out twice against the starter, Jaron DeBerry, who went 6 shutout innings. 4 walks, 6 strikeouts for the right-hander. And he's been helped by a pair of 2-run homers from his DH, Tom Poole. First pitch popped up. Right side, Krause calling for it. Squeezing, 2 outs.
You surprised at just where we are right now? Did we?
I mean, I expected these 2 teams to play. I just didn't think it was going to be in the afternoon.
I think my biggest shock value here is that, you know, even with Arizona last night and a team that they've seen, you know, you get up for a Grand Canyon club that handed it to you at your home field. But now to come back and have to turn it around quickly, you know, in baseball, sometimes that's the best thing. All right, short memory. When we get back out here, we feel good about ourselves. There has been nothing offensively, not even a crack.
I mean, I think I'm a big believer in one baseball cliche, which is momentum is only as good as your next day's starting pitcher.
Yep.
And we were talking about it in innings breaks in facing DeBerry. I just don't know how you make the adjustment on a guy that can spin it through the zone. You know, this isn't 20 years ago where if a breaking ball's in the zone for a strike, you're hammering it, right? Like, these are balls that are spinning through the strike zone, and he had not just such command for it, but got swings and misses in the zone with it. Sometimes it's just a tough draw, and that's what it feels like today for Arizona. That's no consolation, but it's a 1-2-3 inning for Binge, and Dallas Baptist 6 outs. But Cam Walty allowed a pair of home runs for the first time in any game this year that he'd given up 2 homers.
It just feels like timing has not been on Arizona's side whatsoever in these last 24 to 36 hours. And, staring elimination in the face with 6 offensive outs to play with. There has been little to no spark. Conversely, let's give credit where it's due. Dallas Baptist, and we even talked with Coach Hefner this morning, he said disappointed in the at-bats, felt that we kind of let Derek Clark off the hook. We didn't do what we usually do. And today from pitch 1, a marked difference from this offensive approach.
The 0-2. Santos takes high, 1-2. Santos an RBI triple in the first inning into the right field corner with 2 outs. That got the scoring started for Dallas Baptist. They have led the whole way since the 4th hitter of the game. The pitch. Swinging a high fly ball to left. Racing over for it as Breyfogle, who makes the catch. A nice running grab for out number 1.
Boy, yet again, the cavernous left field. And you got to have your best defender out there. Breyfogle, a gazelle, over and gets it just a handful of steps in front of the fence for a critical first out.
I know it hasn't gone well for them offensively here, but Breyfogle, Summerhill, White in the Big 12 next year, there are going to be a lot of right-hand pitchers that do not want to face that group. First pitch is swung on a miss by Ethan Mann. And I don't want to eulogize Arizona's season yet because they have been a comeback team this year. They have 8 wins in their last at bat, or in walk-off wins, I should say. But if this is the end of the road for them, they are the final Pac-12 champions of both the regular season and the tournament. Chip Hale, one of the Pac-12 legends as a player, and now the Pac-12 Coach of the Year. It's only fitting that a team from the old 6-pack would win the final championship. And Arizona baseball has been so important to that conference. It was a really sad day yesterday, saying so many people we've known over the years say that it was their last day with the Conference of Champions, as it is, at least the iteration that we have known going back to the Pac-8 days, is ending. And it's a very, very emotional time for those people who have ties to the Pac-12. As somebody who grew up in the Midwest, man, the Pac was the coolest, right? Like, it was watching UCLA and ASU and Arizona and all of those teams in Southern California with palm trees and warm weather, and it seemed like a dream. And to have the Pac-12 disappear is just so disappointing on so many levels. I know Arizona's going to have a lot of success in the Big 12 when they get there. They're a great fit for that conference, as is their in-state rival ASU, Utah as well. But, man, it is still really sad to think that whenever it's over for Arizona or Oregon or Oregon State, that will be it for the Pac-12.
And the landscape changing, right? Just overall, we now have coast-to-coast conferences, and what that will look like, not only from the geographical standpoint, but also how about for the kids too? I mean, we're in an age of NIL and transfer portal where we have quote unquote free agency in college sports. We have, the ability to try and woo 18, 17-year-old kids to certain destinations via financial, responsibility. But still kids at the end of the day, still got to go to class, still got to learn how to live day in and day out. And, oh, by the way, let's put them on planes to go back and forth. Anxious to see how the adaptation goes, not only from the playing standpoint, but now recruiting and what that differentiation looks like.
I'll argue the kids aren't going to have any issue with flights. It's us old people that have problems flying places. It's never kids. The 1-2. Jay swings and misses, and the inning is over. Boy, Arizona's bullpen has done its job. They've set down. He pitched in Omaha a year ago with TCU. The transfer will face the heart of the Arizona order. Wildcats with just 3 hits today. And the first pitch swung on and missed by Brendan Summerhill. It's 0-1.
And something to keep in mind, too, as DBU closes in here. Now, if you're Dan Hefner, you start to think about where you are tomorrow. Again, they'll play another elimination game. And as far as pitching resources go, you look back on Jaron DeBerry's outing today, could be momentous in saving certain arms that they'll be able to deploy tomorrow.
They have to get 6 outs first. Summerhill foul tips into the glove of Jay. It's 1-2. But you're right. It's how do you line it up? Because now if you come through the losers bracket, if you come through that 0-1 game, you have to win 4 straight to advance to Super Regionals. It's only happened 3 times since 2021. It's possible, but it puts a lot of taxation on your pitching staff. And I would say traditionally those teams that have done it have come through the losers bracket when there has been a 3 or a 4 seed that has maybe had some good high-end talent, but not a lot of depth that they're playing in that regional final.
You see Nick Wilson getting ready down there for DBU. The guy that came to mind, they have not had to use Connor Mackay yet.
Yep.
Their sensational closer.
3-2, foul tip into the glove of Jay, 1 out. Summerhill down on strikes. And the leadoff man gone in the Arizona 8. 6-0 DBU.
Well, just straight up, let's see if you can get it. Yet again, the breaking ball, especially the left-handed breaking ball. We saw it, with yesterday and Grant Richardson really finding, even though it was a ton of fastballs, the few breaking balls he did throw out there, Arizona had no answer, and that same narrative continues this afternoon.
Mason White has a double today. He takes a strike. Arizona has scored once since the 2nd inning yesterday. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Nowhere near that breaking ball. It's 0-2.
Almost like, he was predetermined, Mason White was. I'm just going to go after it right here. And now down 0-2. Frustration setting in wholeheartedly for this Wildcat offense.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. White chases one in the dirt. Jay will throw it around the diamond. 2 outs.
Well, if it feels like deja vu from the first at bat, yep. This one just a little bit farther down, and in disgust, Mason White just disposes of his bat. A tough day for him, and a tough day continues for the Wildcats.
2 outs for Garen Caulfield. First pitch at his feet. Hop, skip, and the jump out of the way. It's 1-0. Arizona has not had a hit since Breifogel led off the 5th inning with a single. They have just 1 base runner since then. Bouncer back to the middle. There's that second hit. As Caulfield, a 2-out single to keep the inning alive.
Yeah, he's got a multi-hit day now. As you said, single in the 4th. Now a 2-out single in the 8th. But outside of that, 1 extra base hit. It was the double in the 1st from Mason White. And the opportunities with runners in scoring position. There were some walks there for DeBerry, and they just could not find a way to get that critical hit.
The pinch hitter here is Xavier Esker, backup catcher. He is the son of Stanford coach Dave Esker. And he's getting a chance to hit here with 2 outs, pinch hitting for the left-handed hitting Kane. They'll let Ridings face him. First pitch is a strike, 0-1.
Looks like Nick Wilson is ready in the DBU bullpen. Should Dan Hefner want to go that route if they cannot get through this inning with Ridings.
Swinging a bouncer to short. Hefner has it. Goes the short way for the force. Inning over. We head to the 9th. Dallas Baptist 6 outs away from staying alive.
What is still great about the game, right? Kids fighting for it. I mean, dreams being realized. So much emotion day in and day out. Here, the food is pretty good, too.
Well, and they roll out the red carpet, too, in Omaha. I mean, they're incredible. Anthony Tonko Suzak is the new pitcher, the closer for Arizona. He actually opened the year as their Sunday starter, but they moved him to the pen. And if the Susak name is familiar to you as a Pac-12 fan, you know that he is the cousin of both Daniel, former first-round draft pick from Arizona, and Andrew Susac, former catcher at Oregon State. Faces the bottom third of the Dallas Baptist order, Mrs. Hyde and Nathan Humphreys, 1-0.
Yeah, free and easy cheese from Susac. Featured a good fastball, good off speed. Has been hit around. The ERA is going to be a bit high just with the amount of hits he's given up, but still the plus stuff.
Humphreys in the air to center. Summerhill's there, 1 out.
I'm sure head coach Chip Hale had visions of him being able to close out yesterday's game in front of a sold-out house against a budding rival in Grand Canyon. You go back and you want to look where this regional turned for Arizona. It was Tyler Wilson in the 2-out catch in left field. If he doesn't come up with that, a 3-run inning perhaps turns into 5 at least, maybe more.
Yeah, a leaping grab at the fence to end the second. Or third inning, excuse me, and Arizona had taken the lead. That ball hits the wall. It eludes Wilson's glove. 2 runs definitely score. And you're right, the momentum shift in that game would have been momentous as it was. Grant Richardson was able to settle in. That was after he had taken a comebacker in that inning and really helped to shut down Arizona's offense. Both him and Isaac Lyon, and today 3 Dallas Baptist pitchers have done that. Jaron DeBerry, 6 shutout innings, a career high in pitches to get this started. It's 2-1 to Pendergrass.
And the DBU bullpen right now, Connor Benj, River Ridings doing what they needed to do. And mention it again, when you come through the losers bracket, your starter has to find a way to continue to collect outs with high pitch counts.
There's a strike. It's 2-2.
Zach Todd now loosening in the DBU bullpen. But again, their stopper, Connor McKay, has not had to be used thus far through 2 dates, and envisioning possibly 2 games to play tomorrow. To have some of those resources available and fresh with these conditions, a huge advantage for the Patriots.
To be able to win this regional now, they have to win today. They have to win 2 games tomorrow and then win again on Monday. Called strike 3. Pendergrass down on strikes, 2 outs. Just by contrast, whoever wins tonight's game between West Virginia and Grand Canyon, game will start at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Arizona time. Actually, look at the strike 3 pitch. Whoever wins that game will just have to win once more. So in the time span that they have to win once, Dallas Baptist, if they hang on here, would have to win 3 more times. It is a difficult task to come through the losers bracket and regionals. Bouncer foul pass first.
And it goes back to us talking to all 4 of these head coaches in this regional. Greg Wallace talked about it, saying it's game 7 for us. That's how we're going to approach it. It worked out perfectly for them yesterday. And then Randy Mazey already saying, hey, we're undermanned. We have injuries galore in the bullpen. What we could have looked like with a healthy, pitching staff, this might have been different. But now Derek Clark in that complete game yesterday looms large for West Virginia with an already depleted pitching staff.
Tyler Switalski will go for West Virginia tonight against Hunter Watkins, for Grand Canyon. 0-2 the count. The pitch fouled away by Hefner. He stays alive.
Now, even though it's a 6-0 game, still a showcase here for Susac. Plenty of professional scouts here all behind him. Plus stuff. Good ride on the fastball. There's a youngster getting a souvenir.
The 0-2. Swing and a pop-up. Foul and out of play. There, those fans are braving the sunlight.
You can't pay me enough to go sit out there.
Wait a second. Who's the lady that's hogging the umbrella? She's not willing to share with her friend that's sitting next to her? Shame on her.
That or they're taking turns trying to get the right color.
Upstairs. 1-2. Oh, yes, you should not be criticizing anybody for trying to get color, seeing as on the field the other day, you turned halfway through a conversation to make sure that the left side was exposed to the sun as much as the right was.
I'm well aware where my burning point is. if it's a
liner down the left field line towards the corner. That's a base hit for Hefner. The shortstop on his way to second, and he'll get there standing with a 2-out double in the ninth.
He's been solid here in the first couple of days of this regional. Couple of defensive gems. He's used the bat well. Even in the losing effort yesterday, take a look at the side swing. Great mechanics, gets the foot down, be able to just really follow through well. Shoots that one down the line for a 2-out double.
DeTalo, the hitter. First pitch in the dirt. It's 1-0. DeTalo today singled to lead off the third inning. That was the big frame. A 3-run inning for Dallas Baptist, capped by Tom Poole's first of 2-run homers. There's a strike.
We talked about the importance of scoring earlier and at least scoring first. We know in the 2024 season it has meant so much to Dallas Baptist, a chance to go 35-2 if they finish this thing off when scoring first.
And a liner over the head of a leaping Morales and down the left field line. Coming home to score is Hefner. RBI single for DeTalo. It's 7-0 Dallas Baptist.
Well, just a pitch elevated out over the zone as the DBU faithful sensing it. Spectacular use of the left side. And just watch where this pitch ends up. Out over the big part of the plate, and even a good piece of hitting, too, trying to go down and get it. Enough juice on it with the velocity from Susac, and yep, the Patriot boys sensing victory is within their grasp.
Chayton Krause bats, checks, he went around. On appeal, it's 0-1. Jeff Doyer, our first base umpire, says he swung. Krause today has doubled, singled, walked, and flied out. Knocked in a run. The 0-1. And missed. 1-1 to Krause.
Credit where it's due. Kyler Haney and Tony Pluta did all they could to keep the DBU offense off the board and allow their offense an opportunity to come back, but no dice for the Wildcat offense at all this afternoon.
The 1-1 tried to check his swing. He went around. It's 1-2. Tom Poole, who has those 2 home runs, waiting on deck, hoping to get another chance here in the 9th inning. As Dallas Baptist has tacked on a run. The pitch outside. 2-2.
Now, if you're DBU's offense, you rest assured that you executed your game plan. You did it against a guy in Cam Walty who even head coach Chip Hale had said he was our stopper. He was the guy that really saved us throughout the regular season. And no better opportunity to turn the trick yet again this afternoon to keep Arizona's season alive. Back-to-back nights, though, where one pitch really was the undoing for Clark Candiotti was Eddie Pelk with the 2-out, bases clearing double. And then today, Tom Poole going up top.
2-2. Swinging the tapper foul. Now stays alive. The first home run there, the third inning started with single, double, homer. And that's really what, to this point, has put the game out of reach for Arizona. That 3-batter sequence that Walty faced. The 2-2. Bounce to third and past Morales into left field. DeTalo will stop at second, and now Poole will get one more chance. Already with 2 home runs in this game.
Just a lineup tweak today that Coach Dan Hefner thought from the matchup would be beneficial. Miguel Santos going from the 3 spot to the cleanup spot, giving Tom Poole an opportunity to hit in the first inning and the first time around.
Taps it foul. He was looking for homer number 3 on that swing. It's 0-1.
Well, at this point, you can't blame him. Up a touchdown. Here's his day. This one, a no-doubter. I mean, this absolutely hammered. He knew it. That one up over the Terry Francona hitting center. And then let's go the opposite way, cover the entirety of the stadium off the scoreboard. And Mike, you've been here enough to go that route.
Opposite field.
Opposite field. Yeah. That is big boy homer territory. And Tom Poole, the star of the offense for DBU today.
Looking for the hat trick. The 0-2. Tapped it foul.
Now, Susac, kind of shaking his head in disgust. His command has been so-so in his outing today. A couple outs, and then all of a sudden, surrendering the RBI single and the single to Kraus.
Runners their lead. The pitch. Tried to check his swing. He held up. Everybody on the field for Arizona thought that was strike 3. The only person whose opinion mattered was Brandon Cooper at third.
Take a look at it from the side. Oof. He held.
Boy, that pains you as a pitcher to say that.
Sure does.
Here's the 1-2. Fouled away. Poole putting together a good battle here.
I'm not above it to say that, hey, the hitter was right. It's few and far between.
It's just really painful to do it. Nobody likes to apologize.
I just want my strikeouts per 9 to go higher.
We use strikeout percentage now. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Poole down on strikes. Inning over. Dallas Baptist tacks.
The way the offense has been held in check since yesterday.
Adonis Guzman leads off and takes high. Ball 1. The pitch. There's a strike. 1-1. It has been a terrific season for Arizona. Picked 9th by the coaches in the conference. Before the season started, they won the regular season and tournament championship. And Guzman pops out to short to start the 9th. And that'll bring up Tommy Splain.
You see the frustration from head coach Chip Hale. They really envisioned with their run at the end of the regular season and through the tournament to do it in such dramatic fashion. You can't ask for better momentum. And then on Sunday to find out that they would be hosting a regional, you felt the puzzle pieces were coming together at just the right time. Yes, it didn't start the way they wanted, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And they could have made the argument they had the biggest head of steam headed into the postseason.
The momentum is heading in the right direction for this Arizona program, and they are going to be a real difficult test to the Big 12 when they start there next year. I mean, that's a conference that had 6 bids this year. They'll add Arizona. Splain rips it foul. And the core of this group, I know the offense has not shown out here, but Summerhill, White, Breifogel, Kane, there is real offense here to go with now. A pitching plan that has produced results. I think that's in talking to some of their coaches, the thing that they feel like they can offer now is their desire to be the Wake Forest of the West is proof of concept based on the season. Clark Candiotti's draft status has gone way up. Cam Walty pitched the best that he has as a collegian for them. Jackson Kent was outstanding for most of the year. So they have shown that they can develop pitching here, that Kevin Vance and his staff can do that. And that's a big feather in this Arizona cap as they head into the Big 12.
Yeah, I think the rapid development too, right? And the guys we talked to, and Clark Candiotti even told us, the buy-in was almost instantaneous. That is hard to do at a place where you come here, we know the ball travels, all those kids know the ball travel. And to have Kevin Vance say, fellas, not only can I figure it out for you, but take a look.
Splain to left. And Van will make the catch for out number 2. And Arizona down to its final out, trailing 7-0 in the 9th. Arizona trying to avoid being shut out for the first time since March 16th against Arizona State.
Wow.
Breyfogle is the last chance. The former Mr. Baseball in the state of Michigan and Minnesota from last year. He swings to the first pitch and fouls it away. It's 0-1.
What a bounce back for DBU. Offensively, this is exactly who they are from the regular season. Outstanding starting pitching from Jaron DeBerry in the bullpen.
Shouldn't hold up. It's 0-2.
And the power of Tom Poole twice to put this thing out of reach as they close in to stay alive.
Dallas Baptist trying to stay alive and work their way through the losers bracket to get to a regional final. The pitch in the dirt. It's 1-2. They are one strike away from finishing this off.
Get a look at head coach Dan Hefner, assistant Cliff Pennington.
The Conference USA co-coach of the year and the Conference USA assistant coach of the year. 1-2 the count. The pitch up and away. It's 2-2.
They're certainly set up from pitching. You know, they've got horses in the barn ready to go.
In the dirt, and the count is full to Breyfogle.
And they'll go to bed tonight if they finish this thing off feeling like, yep, we did what we thought we could do. And they'll await the winner of West Virginia and Grand Canyon if they can finish it off.
Breyfogle battles back from down 0-2 to draw a 2-out walk. Good at bat by the freshman, not giving it away. And now here's Emilio Corona. And this could be his final at bat in a Wildcat uniform. Corona 0 for 3 today. The senior outfielder who started his career at the University of Washington. Takes a pitch in the dirt, it gets away, and that'll get Breyfogle the second.
Yeah, almost at this point, with the freshman on the mound and Zach Todd, you're going to allow him some leeway here, especially with a 7-run lead. You don't want to have to get someone up again and use some unnecessary bullets, but there is the biggest number of the day. Runners on, Arizona 0 for 9.
Foul back.
The average with runners in scoring position are startling for a team that at home is pretty prolific offensively.
The 1-1 in the dirt. Jay staying active here behind the plate.
He's getting his work in, that's for sure.
I mean, think about him tomorrow. If they win the early game, then he has to catch the night one too. I wonder if you see a DH day for him at some point, but he's doing a good job behind the plate. Has the entire regional so far. 2-1. On the ground, off the umpire, and into shallow center. That'll be a base hit. A dead ball, and there's runners at the corners, and the lineup will turn over. The boos are for our second base umpire, Ed Newsom, not being able to get out of the way. And it's going to force the runner back to second. It's a dead ball, and it hits the umpire in front of the base. This is the correct call, no matter how little the Arizona fans dislike it.
And I'll be honest, I mean, looking at the exit velo off of it and where that ball hit, not much he could have done to get out of the way. It's just one of those things where that comes right off the mound, and you're trying to anticipate where that hop would go. Nothing he could have done.
Richie Morales trying to keep the season alive. Taps it up along first and foul. So Arizona not going quietly. A walk and a single here. They still trail 7-0 in the bottom of the ninth. Lefty beginning to get loose in the bullpen.
Tyler Schott starting to throw a little bit.
Swing and a miss. Foul tip actually into the glove of Jay. And now Dallas Baptist one strike away again from staying alive in this tournament. The set. The 0-2. Swing and a pop-up. Shallow right center. Coming in is the right fielder. Making the catch is Pendergrast. And Binge.
Tough regional for me to visit there. Thanks a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring up the Clemson one. I don't know why that was so difficult. Breyfogle fouls the first pitch up. And here's Connor Binge, whose name has been on the lips of everybody, coach, staff, broadcasters with DBU. The transfer from LSU Eunice has been throwing really well and throws very hard.
Very hard, and honestly, when you look at just the peripherals, yeah, it's the whole effectively wild thing. 22 walks in 31 innings. He has 34 strikeouts, but at this point, a sizable lead that you feel DBU can try and get across the line, but what you don't want is to jumpstart an Arizona offense that is literally looking for anything to try and wrap their hands around to get going.
The 2-1 to Breyfogle. Wrapped on the ground to second. Santos will throw him out. One gone. Arizona with just 8 outs to play with in their season as they trail 6-0 in the bottom of the 7th. This will bring up Emilio Corona. Corona struck out twice against the starter, Jaron DeBerry, who went 6 shutout innings. 4 walks, 6 strikeouts for the right-hander. And he's been helped by a pair of 2-run homers from his DH, Tom Poole. First pitch popped up. Right side, Kraus calling for it. Squeezing, 2 outs.
You surprised at just where we are right now? Did we?
I mean, I expected these two teams to play. I just didn't think it was going to be in the afternoon.
I think my biggest shock value here is that, even with Arizona last night and a team that they've seen, you get up for a Grand Canyon club that handed it to you at your home field. But now to come back and have to turn it around quickly, in baseball, sometimes that's the best thing. All right, short memory. When we get back out here, we feel good about ourselves. There has been nothing offensively, not even a crack.
I mean, I think I'm a big believer in one baseball cliche, which is momentum is only as good as your next day's starting pitcher.
Yep.
And we were talking about it in innings breaks in facing DeBerry. I just don't know how you make the adjustment on a guy that can spin it through the zone. This isn't 20 years ago where if a breaking ball's in the zone for a strike, you're hammering it, right? Like, these are balls that are spinning through the strike zone, and he had not just such command for it, but got swings and misses in the zone with it. Sometimes it's just a tough draw, and that's what it feels like today for Arizona. That's no consolation, but it's a 1-2-3 inning for Binge, and Dallas Baptist 6 outs.